Hello everybody. So today I want to talk to you about the Nitecore SRT7GT flashlight / weapon mounted light. Alright, so transparency first. What's my relationship with Nitecore? None. I'm not paid by them. I am not being paid for this video, and I do not get paid by any sales that they make off of this video. So my relationship with Nitecore is they sent me this to review it. That's it. I don't like videos that have just specifications, data points, and things like that. So we're going to go through a couple things really quick and then get to some field testing video that I did. So this is the Nitecore SRT7GT. It's a 1,000 lumen flashlight, 450 advertised 450 meter beam distance. It weighs about 6 ounces and is 6 1/4 inches long. Has all the O-rings and seals and things like that to keep it water resistant, and it is also shock proof.
Drop test from about 2 feet. From about, still on, from about 3 feet. And I am 6 foot, so right at eye level. Seems pretty good. Little hammer test here. Not bad. Go to the other side. Hasn't flickered yet.
Now, the batteries for it are 2 CR123As or one 18650, and this light came with the Nitecore 18650 that is self-rechargeable, that has its own charging port in the battery itself. Get this screwed back on here. It is an aluminum body, and it has a single function to turn it on and off right here. Again, 1,000 lumens. And it has several different settings with this, what they call the smart ring technology. You see that there's a collar here that spins. So I'm going to run through the functions real quick, and then we'll get to some of the video in the field and some of my opinions on the flashlight itself. We have the 1,000 lumen setting, which is high. You rotate the ring around to dim it. I don't know how well you can see that. So you have its highest setting. You have the rave or strobe. Then you have a UV light, and then a red, and then a green, blue, cop lights, which I'm sure somebody will get in trouble with at some point in time, and then an emergency beacon. And that's all the settings for this SRT7GT from Nitecore. Now, the Nitecore comes with a lanyard, and it comes with a belt clip so you can put it in your pocket. And it also comes with this little ring, this little squared off ring here that you can see. It is removable. It allows you to not only hold it in cool different positions in your hand. If you want to run it like this, it gives your hand a place to sit on it like that. And it also allows it to sit on a flat surface without rolling off. As I mentioned, it is a weapon mounted light also, and so it came with a tail cap and pressure switch and a rifle mount, a Picatinny rifle mount. Now, I did do some shooting with it. I think I did around 200 rounds on camera and maybe another 200 to 400 rounds off camera. So there's really a grand total of about 600 rounds or so shot over a period of a day with this, and it seems to hold up. So here's some of the footage of that.
All right. Pressure pad doesn't have any way to mount it, so I got it taped on there, and it's working, but it is only a momentary on, so that's kind of a downer. But see this button right here? That is the full-time on. So Let's see how shock resistant it is. Well, that's 60. Let's go for some more. Let the rifle cool a little bit. Had to go and get another mag. Man 2. Rock and roll. .90 gas tubes, red hot. I don't know if you can see that, but so with that gas tube hot, I'm sure it's kind of warm up here, and that still seems to work. Let's move it over to something a little bit more heavy duty, like an AK, something with a real recoil. All right, so for the AK, I don't really have a place to tape the button pad, pressure pad, so I just put the tail cap back on it. That works as well. So AK-47, a little bit higher, harder recoil. Let's see if this will kill it. So far, so good. $60. Let's do 90 out of this, just like we did the AR. And here we go. Let's see if I can bump fire from the shoulder. That's it. But it is still going. So that's 90, 180 rounds of AK and AR. And let's see, all the buttons and switches still work. The dim still seems to work. The strobe. The red light, which I like. Green, blue, police lights, and the emergency strobe.
Now, it did not seem to add any more weight than any other light of this general size that I've ever had on a rifle, so that's good. It did seem to hold up to the recoil of both the AK and AR. Of course, I didn't put it on anything bigger, so I thought it worked well. It's got on high, if you're using it for a weapon mounted light, on high it has about an hour and a half run time, and then of course the run time on its lowest setting is right around 10 days. Is what it's advertised. It's 10 days.
Alright, so I know this may be a little hard to tell because there's so much dust flying through the air right now, but those two saguaro cactus are just inside of 200 yards away. That one there is almost 225. Alright, so those bushes right there, one's not that one, but this one right here in front of me is just over 100 yards. And you can see this light has a real nice white hot center. So it dim. Let's show you on the ground. Down to nothing. And then it has a ultraviolet light, which is nice up close map reading, and to see scorpions out here. So there's the red light. Now the red light's pretty cool. It's nice and bright. That's about, I don't know, 15, 20 feet in front of me. A green, the blue, the cop lights, and then the emergency strobe. And of course, the rave, the strobe light. I like the red. So I do like this red the best. Real good low light. Real good low light and low signature. Especially for what we do out here in the desert. Real good low signature, as opposed to, you know, trying to rock a white light, obviously, is a lot higher, bigger signature.
Now, a couple of things that I'm not real big fan of for the weapon mounted light portion is, I like the ring, I like the mount. I don't like the screw. The screw being bright silver and reflective is a downside to me, but the mount itself seems heavy duty enough, well made, and it sits very secure. The tail cap, while it works and I think it is built well, it's got a nice heavy cord on it. The connections seem to be pretty good. I wish there was a way to mount the pressure pad that wasn't like a stick-on or tape-on, and I also wish the pressure pad had the constant on, the on-off, instead of just the momentary on, instead of in the tail cap like it does. But again, it seems to be well made. I just wish all the controls were in one spot and I didn't have to switch around like I did, like you saw me in the video. But overall, as a weapon-mounted light on a rifle, it seems to hold its weight, and it seems to be good. Now, for searching with it, using it as a regular flashlight on its highest setting, it seems to have. I had no way to measure the 450 meter advertised beam distance, but I was able to get it out on a really dusty night. If you've ever been out here in the desert, if there's a little bit of breeze, a little bit of wind, there's just dust kicking up everywhere, and it's hard for these beams to really break through that dust. But I got it out to, I think it was 225 yards, and was able to see. Didn't come across as well on camera, but I was able to see really well some cactus out in the distance. But also, two of my favorite settings for this flashlight is the red and the UV. Now the UV is really nice because if you look at this video here, for map reading, the UV tends to light up all the boundary lines and different shades and grades, gradient of colors on the topo map, but all the other colors in one way or another either wash out one or all of the lines or colors on the map, and that just doesn't work for me at all. Now, I've shown you what it can do. I've told you what I like about it. There are a couple things that I am not in love with when it comes to this light. The price point is fine. It's at the low end of tactical weapon lights, so that's nice. It is a Chinese-made light, which is not a deal breaker for me. There are Chinese companies that are really up and coming in the tactical light world, and I think Nitecore may be one of them. But this thing gets hot, and I mean hot. It's I don't know what they can do about it. It does say on the bezel here, it does say hot, but this thing gets hot, and it gets hot quick. So when I first got it, one of the first things I always do with a light is make sure the battery's charged. I turn it on and I set it on the table next to me while I watch a movie and wait and see, give it in time to see how long it takes to die. In 20 minutes, I couldn't touch the light. And I mean, it was hot. I had to play hot potato with it. This baby was cooking. That may be a deal breaker for some people. When I turned it off, it did not take long for it to cool down. That's a good point. But if you're using it as a handheld light, especially for searching, if you're having it on for a very long time, expect this thing to get boiling hot and very, very uncomfortable to hold in your hand. Now, with that said, over a period of testing, it did last the hour and a half that it's advertised to last. Of course, I didn't turn the strobe on to see if it would actually last 10 days, but I have no problems believing that it probably would. And then the battery seems like a good battery that's in it. So real quick recap of what I like about the light. The red is it's real bright, 1,000 lumens, nice and bright. The red and UV lights on the Smart Ring are excellent. I like those two features a lot. I like the fact that it's small enough to carry in the hand or in the pocket if need be, but it's also good weapon mounted. It seems to be a good weapon mounted light. Downfalls, I'm not a big fan of the tail switch. I'm not a big fan of the pressure pad or tail switch. Again, I think they're well built. I just think that it would be smarter to put all the controls in one spot as opposed to two separate locations. I wish this was not silver. I wish it was black. I know, simple coat of paint can fix that, and that sucker gets hot. So there's your good and bad. No ugly this time. All right, so I'm going to put all the links that you need to have for Nitecore down in the description. It'll give you a full array of different settings and different data points and specifications that I'm not going to take up camera time to tell you today. I'll also put a Amazon link down there that'll get you, I do believe, I'll put two. I think I found one that was this with all the rifle light stuff on, all the rifle light attachments, and this by itself. So I'll put whatever links I can from Amazon down in the description below. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit the like and share notification button. Please subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and we'll talk to you later.